Evening peeps, flipping evening peeps. Jeepers, it's a bit warm on today, isn't it? So I'm sitting in a little 6x6 room with many screens on, many electronics, and it's already hotting up in here. I've got a window open, but jeeps, it's warm. I feel sorry for you boys sat in your rigs tonight. Core blimey, they're going to need some mopping up later. But evening, welcome back to the channel tonight. I think my mic might be a little bit loud. Hold on, people. Let me just knock that down a little bit so I'm not redlining. You'll have to tell me whether it's too loud or not. So yes, we've got round 2 of the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup tonight. In the sweltering heat of Tokyo, Tokyo Expressway. It's a full 1 hour endurance tonight. I think it's a 1 hour endurance. All 3 tyres must be used. And you've got to keep yourself out of the wall here. It's nothing but concrete and steel all the way around. As you can see, no you can't, because you're not looking at the same screen as me. So yes, it's Tokyo Expressway tonight. It's going to be an interesting race. Some new drivers, not too familiar with the endurance format, so we'll see how they get on tonight, see whether they've done any practice. A couple of new drivers in tonight. Okay, right, let's go and have a look at scores as of last week. Right, hold on people, I've got to shift myself across the room because now I've moved all my monitors about. I'm not even close to this one over here. So, leading the way at the minute is new driver to the league, DDR Hatterlad. He's got himself 55 points after last week's shenanigans. 3 15-minute races last week. I think Hatterlad took 2 wins in that and a very high place in the race where he didn't win, I think. D-Dot sitting in second, he's on 46 points. Alien Swift in third, he's got 42 points. Got Rob Scott in fourth, he's got 38 points. 2 points behind him is Bajonski with 36. Cutler is sitting in sixth with 32 points. We've got Giraffe Head. Sorry, I'm just having to lean over and look at the names because they're a little bit covered up. He's sitting on 28 points in seventh. Old Crawler in eighth on... Oh, apologies. We've got Giraffe Head on 28. Yes, there you go. Old Crawler on 27. IT43 or DDR IT43 on 26 points. One Eye Lou is on 24 points. And if we just lose that top image onto the bottom half of the table, DMK DK10, he had 20 points, so sitting in 11th. Ricky J is in 12th, also with 20 points. Number 1 Pops is 13th with 19 points. We've got DDR Hulky in 14th with 13 points. And MRC Shuri in 15th with 10 points. Aldo on the board, but no points on there for him. So we've got a lobby of 15. Don't forget, people, merch still available. Stickers and t-shirts, or t-shirts and tickers, depends how... oh, that's not what you're meant to be doing. So let's get ourselves into this lobby. They're still in practice, are they? Have they restarted? I don't think they have. Okay, so we are still waiting for Dennis to show up. But let's get ourselves on track and see what is kicking off. Let's get the usual nonsense on screen for you guys. One hour enduro, yes, Jake just confirming that on the chat there. Swifty isn't on track tonight, sadly, internet issues. Yeah, I saw that in the chat, mate. I'll be back next week. Hopefully I don't lose too many points. IT43, he's not called Ian, he's called IT43. because that's what he's called on screen, so that's what people see him as. That's his name. I never know whose people's real name is, because in the chats they always change, and then people decide to change monikers on PlayStation, so they're always chopping and changing. Pointless. On board with Old Crawler then, just put in a couple of laps in. Again, still waiting for Dennis. Hopefully he shows up pretty soon. One Eye Lou out on track. Got to keep it out of these walls here at Tokyo. Oh, as number 1 Pops just hasn't done. DMK10. Some new and some existing. Some new and existing liveries this season. So it looks like we are going to try an actual quali session. We'll see whether the Polyphony have managed to sort those out yet. They are a bit tricky. The old lobbies, they're still not working quite right in 7. Chuck yourself in the pit, Rob Scott. You should know this by now. Flipping, how many seasons have you raced of the minis? Cool, blimey. Hatterlad, look, championship leader. Being rammed by DMK Aldo. Not happy. There he is, the enforcer. See how he gets on tonight. There he is. MRC Shuri has joined the room, so that should be all drivers in tonight. Okay, so Jake just still telling us you guys won't see it until he returns next week, but Jake does like a bit of Taylor Swift, as you'll see from his livery. D.90, the Sexy T, he will be streaming his race live tonight from his perspective. That's over on Facebook at D.90. So go give him a shout, tell him Dark Smoker sent you. He'll probably call you some names and send you back. DDR Hulky. Again, liking the fact you guys are managing to chuck your names on the number plates. It's pretty cool. There's Ian for you, Jake, or IT43 for everyone else. Just backing it into a corner. Hatterlad doing the same thing. Ricky J is still out on track. I've seen number 1 Pops. Yeah, here he is. There is number 1 Pops. What do you mean he's racing for you? How can he be racing for you? He's racing for himself. He's not going to give you his points tonight, is he? You forget about your own livery, Jake, you maniac. So, Cutler, Rob Scott. Okay, it looks like Shuri's out on track. Where's he gone? There he is. Are you still not on a rig, Dennis? That looks very pad-like to me. Right, let's see how we get on with this qualifying session then. Is it going to work? It can result in some glitches, but not the fault of the admins or the lobby hosts or anything like that. It is just Polyphony's setup. Head honcho of MRC there in the little blue Mini. Hopefully he gets the GTTCC back underway soon. Again, it's just on hold because lobbies are glitchy. I think they want to try and bring it back on 7 as opposed to GT Sport. GT Sport is as good a game as it is. Obviously, a lot of drivers have chopped over to the new game and are wanting to play league races. Okay. I'll set it to 10-minute qualifier. Let's see if this works. It can mean that drivers are sometimes stuck in the pits. It can mean some drivers suddenly can't enter. It's yeah, it's a real weird thing, really. D says you go Lartington. Where the hell's Lartington? It's not even England, that ain't. That's a made-up place. Go-karting in September. I'm going Leicester go-karting in September. That's what I'm doing. Right. Okay then, let's see if this qualifier works. Ooh, that snaz. Okay, drivers leaving the pits. Oh, see, it does look like we've got drivers stuck. Have we? Three drivers, not two drivers. One driver not gone anywhere. Pajonski, come on. What are you doing? What are you saying? No revs. Is he leaving the pits? But we've got a 10-minute qualifier kicking off. Oh no, dual shock battery low. Right, Rob Scott, first man out on track then. We've got a little while to wait before they hit the start-finish line again. Again, difficult track this one. Come on, there we go. It's got a little bit of chase cam going on. Oh, a little bit of a penalty there. Rob Scott just having to slow down and lose that. Sure, he goes through. Oh, you've been banned from quali. You bad lad. Banned. Right. I've got to go and get a charging cable for my pad. Back in 2 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, but you know, back in a second. Back. It's all right. What's happened? What's happened? What have I missed? Because right, let's have a flick through then. Here we go. That's not the camera angle I want, that's the camera angle I want. Right, okay. So times are being chucked all over the place here. Doesn't actually tell me how many laps they've done, does it? It just says first. So One Eye Lou then, currently sitting on pole, 2:21.6. Number one Pops, 2:22.3 in second. D-Dot, 2:22.4 in third. IT43, 2:22.8, fourth at the minute. Old Crawler fifth. A little bit of a penalty to lose. Just drops it going through there. Driver behind also. Penalty was it for D-Dot? 2:22.8 for Old Crawler. But again, got almost a second penalty there he's got to drop. Shuri. Now then, I'm just looking at this qualifying session, and I can see that tyre wear's on. I'm not sure if tyre wear's meant to be on in quali. Cutler! We'll see. So where were we? Old Crawler. MRC Shuri's got himself a 2:23.5. Hattelad 2:50.1 at the minute, so no hot lap as such, although putting in purple sectors right about now. Cutler sitting in 8th, again no hot lap on the board, so possible collision with the wall. Rob Scott again no hot lap. DK10 no hot lap. Hulky no hot lap. Ricky J no hot lap. Again, all the drivers at the back, no hot laps on board yet. One Eye Lou still holding that top spot with a 2:21.6. Let's see if he holds on to that. How long have we got left? 4.5 minutes. On the naughty step for Bajonski, that's right. Let's go and have a look at him. Where is he? Ooh, IT43 just pipping One Eye Lou there for pole position. Gets himself a 2:21.4, so only just under 2/10 quicker than One Eye Lou. Oh, One Eye Lou, both drivers in fact into the wall through there. And there he is, naughty step Bajonski, just sitting this qualifying session out, sweating away in his Mini. DK10 just sticking on fresh rubber, were you? Or did you pick up damage maybe? So damage is on as well in the Enduros, which means a trip to the pits if you pick up the damage. Yeah, I didn't think so. Bajonski, I didn't think so. Unless Cutler's changed the rules. I don't think so, though. But now it is Hattelad on pole. What's he got? A 2:20.4. It's a full second quicker than IT43's quickest time. Still out on track though, bit of tyre wear to contend with. Oh, One Eye Lou getting the hairpin all wrong. This track a little bit awkward as well. As you see, One Eye Lou just entering the pits there, picking up damage front and rear. Going in for a fresh set of tyres as well, but this pit lane is pretty much halfway around the circuit. But it is Hattelad back on pole tonight for the Enduros. Did Cutler say anything? Did he come back with anything? No, he's not said anything yet. Rob Scott then into 4th with a 2:21.8. Cutler moves up to 5th, another 2:22.1 for him. Number 1 Pops is 6th currently, 2:22.3. Aldo 2:22.4. D-Dot has got himself 8th on the grid in the minute, 2:22.4. Right behind Aldo, Old Crawler is in 9th, 2:22.8. Shuri 69 is in 10th, 2:23.5. Ricky J 11th, 2:24.2. Hulky in 12th, he's got a 2:25.4. Sorry. Forky Jonesy, a new driver to the league tonight. A 2:31.1 for him. Possibly getting used to this Mini. DMK DK10 14th with a 2:51 as his fastest. And poor old Bajonski still sitting this qualifying session out, but we are into the last minute of this qualifying now. Can Hattelad hold on to this top spot? little toe off Ricky J through there as well. That's going to benefit him. D-Dot's moved up into second at 2:20.5. Closes that gap right down on Hattelad. Oof. Little tiny clip of the wall there for D-Dot. Might have cost him. Ricky J now with the toe, but unfortunately Ricky J picking up a penalty, so he's going to have to drop that or suffer when he crosses the line. We'll keep an eye on this first place driver at the minute, DDR Hattelad. Took pole late on in qualifying. Still dropping purple sectors as well. Looking to go quicker then. Fresh set of tyres on to play with. A little bit less fuel. Again, it should really be no tyre wear or fuel depletion on, but I think it's just been forgotten about accidentally because we've started an actual qualifying session. Through the hairpin then. That is actually the entrance to the pits right there. It's not on the start-finish straight. And the long straight to go. A couple of wiggles in it. Oh, sorry, we're on the wrong side of the circuit. Thought we were going the other way around. So not a straight at all. We're into the S's. Yeah, just got to control the speed through these. Keep it out of the wall on the exits. Still in pole position though. A little clip of the wall there. This final straight to go. So he does go quicker. 2:20.1 then for Hattelad. Extends that pole. Where's D-Dot? He's already crossed the line, so that's second place secured for D-Dot, I think. A couple of other drivers still out on track, but it's going to be Rob Scott in third, Aldo in fourth, One Eye Lou fifth. Apologies. Who's just chucked themselves in there? Rob Scott, DMK 10, right at the end of qualifying. Got a good time, 2:21.1 then for DMK, DK 10. Into fourth, Aldo fifth, One Eye Lou sixth, DDR IT 43 in seventh, Old Crawler in eighth, Cutler ninth, Ricky J in 10th, number one Pops in 11th, Shuri 69 in 12th, Hulky in 13th, Forky Jonesy in 14th, and Pajonski now out on track, but will start from the back in this Enduro. Didn't look bad, didn't look bad. We'll have to see what the drivers have got to say about it in the qualifying sessions. In the chat after the qualifying. So here we go then. 1 hour endurance coming up here at Tokyo Expressway. You've seen what it's made of. It's all steel and concrete, so got to keep it out of the wall, got to reduce that damage. Alien Swift saying he would have smoked them. So let's wait for these lights to drop. And off they go. Shuri in the background getting a good start. Looking for the overtake on Ricky J already at the back of the field. Hattelad though looking to keep this top spot as they head down towards the first left-hander coming up. Through he goes, closely chased by D.90. One Eye Lou making up a position or two off the start, up into fourth. He's under a bit of pressure from DK10 at the minute, but it will have the inside line into the hairpin if he stays where he is. There they go, piling through. DK10 then has to hold on to that fifth unless he runs around the outside. Oh, big drift wide there as well. That's allowed IT43 to go through. Crawler just looking up the inside of Cutler there as well. Didn't make it happen, but showed his nose. Number one Pops right on the tail of this fight as well, followed by Shuri, followed by Pajonski, who's managed to pick himself 0.5 second penalty, but has come from the back of the grid all the way to 11th already. Hulky 12th, Ricky J 13th, Aldo 14th, and Forky Jonesy 15th. Oh, Aldo's had a coming together with Forky Jonesy. So big pile of damage there for Aldo. Looks like Forky Jonesy is just hanging back behind him, giving him a little push. Get him back down towards the pits ASAP, get the damage repaired, and back out on track for the pair of them. Unfortunately, they're going to be... Oh, Forky Jonesy trying to help out Aldo. He's causing himself some issues. Back up front then. So we've got drivers throwing themselves in the pits already in lap 1. Again, tricky, dangerous track here. So here we go. DDR Hattelad under pressure from D-Dot. D-Dot goes through, takes that position off him. Hattelad now chasing down D-Dot for that top spot again. Keeps it out of the wall. You can hear just how much D-Dot's having to feather the throttle. Oh, unfortunately, both drivers collide with the wall on the exit there, allowing One Eye Lou to close the gap up. Quite a long straight here. One Eye Lou getting himself back involved in this top flight race at the minute. Top 3 got a little bit of a gap between themselves and IT43 in 4th. Oh, into the wall there. One Eye Lou sweeps around the outside. He chucks himself into 2nd. A little mistake from Hattelad there. IT43 might be able to have a look now as well, because he won't be carrying as much speed up this straight towards the hairpin. One Eye Lou though looking dangerous, closing up on D-Dot. D-Dot's having to go defensive into the hairpin. IT43 in the background is also having a look at Hattelad for 3rd. And gets it. Is Hattelad able to come back at him? No, One Eye Lou not able to make his way past D-Dot either. Through they go. So it is D-Dot now leading. One Eye Lou in 2nd. IT43 3rd. Hattelad in 4th. Number 1 Pops on his tail though in 5th. Oh, Crawler in 6th. He has managed to get himself past Cutler. DK10 in 7th. What has happened to Cutler? And Pajonski into 8th then. Getting him right involved in this race at the minute. He's got the medium tyres on. It's all over the back of DMK DK10 for that 7th position. Shuri in 9th. Just over half a second back. Got Cutler for company as well. Cutler thinks about having a look up the inside, but Shuri also trying to get up the inside of Pajonski there. Close the door on Cutler. Hulky then 3 seconds down in 11th. He has got Ricky J for company, another 2 seconds back though. And then unfortunately Rob Scott, who I did see throw himself in the pits on the last lap, so possibly into the wall, picked up damage. Back out, but 17 seconds back at the minute. And then poor Aldo and Forky Jonesy, they've both been involved in incidents as well. So another 19 seconds back for Aldo, and Forky Jonesy another 21. Oh, he's got damage again as Forky Jonesy. Really not getting on here with Tokyo. Oh, D-Dot under pressure here then. IT43, One Eye Lou and number 1 Pops. All harassing D-Dot for the lead. He's got past him as well. IT43 into the lead though, side by side with One Eye Lou as they head back up towards this hairpin. One Eye Lou does have the advantage in the inside here. Hard on the brakes. Oh, he's gone deep though. He's gone deep. That's going to allow the drivers to have a look down the inside. D-Dot's got to give room. His nose is up the inside, and does. One Eye Lou very lucky only to lose 1 position there. He was under threat from IT43 and number 1 Pops for that 2nd position. Hattelad back involved in that fight. Old Crawler hanging onto the rear bumper of Hattelad as well. Top 6 then. Great big battle now. We're only 6 minutes in. Old Crawler having a look at Hattelad. Up the inside. Oof. then Podjonski into 7th, has got himself past DK10, now on the hunt for those 6 drivers in front. Medium tyres on board for Podjonski. Oh, Cutler into the wall for Cutler. Trying to get around the outside of Shuri, I think, and a little collision of the wall. Good battle here. Oh, both drivers in the pits then. Oh, damage. Damage from both drivers, front end. You'll be hard pushed not to pick up damage somewhere here, I don't think. It's one of those kind of circuits. And these little minis do like to bite when they lose traction, if you're not ready for it. So it is still D-Dot leading by 0.4 of a second from number 1 Pops. Oh, number 1 Pops just clattering into the wall there as well. So One Eye Lou's going to come and have a look at him. IT43 is going to sweep round as well. Old Crawler might have a look here because number 1 Pops won't be carrying as much speed. He's up the inside. Where's he gone, Old Crawler? There he is. He's into 4th position then, in front of number 1 Pops and Hattalad. Hattalad back involved in this fight though. Podjonski now only 1.5 seconds back, definitely closing that gap up. He's on an absolute mission tonight after missing out on qualifying for being a naughty boy. He is piling the pressure on these drivers in front. When he catches up with them, if he can get past them and drive like he has been, well, they're going to be hard pushed to keep up with him. Big gap back to DK10 now as well, 2.9 seconds. Hulky another 5.7 back, another second back for Ricky J. Rob Scott another 11.5 back after his pit stop. Shuri and Cutler both been in the pits. Come out now 8 seconds back of Rob Scott, and Cutler another 2.8 back from Shuri. Almost 10 seconds back for Aldo. Again, picked up almost every single bit of damage possible, and Forky Jonesy helped him back to the pits, but Forky Jonesy has had his own issues, unfortunately, and has had to make a couple of stops to the pits. Unfortunately now a full minute behind Aldo. And it won't be long before the drivers behind are catching up with him. So D-Dot then still leading this race. 9 minutes in. One Eye Lou piling the pressure on him still. IT43 right there with him. Number 1 Pops has chucked himself in the pits. Did he have damage? No, a little bit of front end damage, but he might be changing those soft tyres as well, which have got a fair bit of wear on them. Jake in the chat trying to claim number 1 Pops' points. That's never going to happen, is it? One Eye Lou, those, got himself in front of D-Dot. Takes the lead of the race. It's almost the 10-minute mark. Another 50 minutes to try and keep it pointing in a straight line. Soft tyres look like they've got a bit of wear on now for One Eye Lou. D-Dot doing well on the hards to keep himself up front like this. IT43 also on the soft tyres, done a really good job of keeping those in good condition. Old Crawler on the mediums behind him, doing a good job as well. To run around the outside of IT43. It did sound like Hattalad just had a dragging of his wing mirrors down the wall on the way into the hairpin. He has now got Podjonski all over the back of him. Just half a second back. It's well within towing range. Let's get on board, proper on board with Podjonski as he looks to make his move here, carrying a lot of speed out of that right-hander into the tunnel underground S's. Easily got himself past Hattalad there. And pulling away still. Plenty of life left in these mediums. Look for Podjonski down towards the hairpin. brakes. Squirm in there under braking. Where's he gone? Trying to come down the inside is Hatalad. You can just see him in the rear quarter. But he has had to back off again. Podjonsky then into 5th position. From the back of the pack, remember. And only 12.5 minutes in, nearly 13 minutes in. 12 minutes in, sorry. So, really good job there for Podjonsky so far. Back up to the front. D-Dot back in front. Holding everyone up, really, or it should be, really, with the hard tyres, but it's not happening. Old Crawler on the mediums. IT43 on the softs. One-Eyed Lou also on the softs, but they are starting to bleed now. And there's Podjonsky in 5th, just 2.1 back, 2.2. There is the top 4 just in front of him. Hatalad then, gap extended between himself and Podjonsky to 0.7 of a second already, or a little bit of front end damage on there for Hatalad. That might be slowing him down on these long straights. DK10 damaged as well in 7th. Ricky J clean out on the hards, having a little race of his own at the minute. Hulky is another 3 seconds behind him. Worn out set of mediums on for Hulky. Rob Scott just 4.5 seconds back now in 10th. Shuri 12.5 seconds back in 11th. Number 1 Pops back out the pits. He's in 12th, only 1.2 back from Shuri. Aldo in 13th, another 12.2 seconds back. Again, drivers have been in and out of the pits, so they'd be all over the place, really. Cutler 14th. Struggling here a little bit, I think. And Forky Jonesy struggling even more, 15th. He's still another 42 seconds back from Cutler, and he's 1 minute 46 back from race leader, who is now DDR IT43 with almost a second lead at 0.8. If you can break the toe of the drivers in front. Still at 0.8, 0.9 as they come into the braking zone. D-Dot trying to throw one up the inside. Apologies. It was Old Crawler trying to throw one up the inside of D-Dot. And does so into... Oh, no. D-Dot able to carry more speed. Holds on to that second. Old Crawler in 3rd, but gaps are starting to develop now. IT43 with just over a second. Is that going to be enough? Can he break the toe from those drivers behind? They will be giving it everything they can to try and keep that gap or close it. It's going to take perfect laps though. And there it is, a little nudge into the wall by D-Dot, and that gap extends up to 1.3 seconds. Old Crawler looking to come through now into 2nd with that little mistake from D-Dot. Does so into 2nd, then D-Dot 3rd. Podjonsky now 4th position. And only 1.7 seconds back from D-Dot. 3.4 seconds back from race leader. Hatalad then in 5th position. Unfortunately picked up more damage on the front end. Now 3.3 seconds back. So he's going to have to play his strategy right here. He's losing time lap by lap to the drivers around him. Needs to get that repaired. DMK, DK10 also carrying damage, so we'll be slowing him down on the longer straights. Ricky J 7th. Really all on his own. 7.5 seconds in front. 4.5 back to Rob Scott, who has just got himself past Hulky, I think. Yep, Hulky's tyres are absolutely knackered. Struggling on those mediums. Rob Scott has just snuck through on a semi-worn set of mediums. Plenty of life left in those. Hulky then 9th. One-Eyed Lou another 8 seconds down. Been in the pits. Fresh set of hards on for One-Eye. Shuri, his front's screaming at him, change me. 7.4 seconds down from One-Eye. He's under a bit of pressure from number 1 Pops here. He's out on a fresher set of mediums. Just a second back at the minute. Another 10 seconds back to Aldo. 15 seconds back to Cutler. And then another 48 back to Forky Jonesy. Someone will have to explain to me what the Forky bit is about in Forky Jonesy's name. IT43 with enough gap then that he can, or he is, out of the tow range of those drivers behind. He's just got to keep these laps absolutely perfect. Still a little bit of life left in those softs. D.90 still doing a really good job on his hard tyres, to be honest. He is under pressure from Old Crawler still. Again, reasonable amount of wear on those mediums for him as well. IT43's made a mistake. That whole lead he had, all gone. D.90 now looking for the lead again. Old Crawler's looking to follow him through as well. So maybe a tiny mistake into the first left-hander. Slowed him down enough that these boys can carry the speed along this longer straight and take that position. So D.Dot back into race lead. Old Crawler second. IT43 now third. Pajonski still fourth. He'll want these boys to battle as much as possible. Gap only at 1.5 seconds, 2.2 behind race leader now for Pajonski. DK10 still carrying that damage. Looks like Hattalad's come in the pits. That releases Ricky J into 6th, Rob Scott into 7th, Hulky into 8th, One Eye 9th, Pops into 10th, Hattalad back out on track in 11th. Fresh set of mediums on board for him. And Shuri still not changed these tyres yet. That's got to be costing him a little bit of time as well. Aldo 13th, again just having a little bit of a race of his own. 7.3 seconds in front to MRC Shuri and 14.3 back to Cutler. This race not going to plan for Cutler at all. Picking up damage early on, possibly while we've been off camera. And while he's been off camera, he might well have done that again. He's a long way down, a full minute from D.Dot race leader. Still managed to hold it. Old Crawler then second. Pajonski into third. I assume IT43's chucked himself in the pits. Yes, he has. Back out on a fresh set of racing hards then for IT43, but 7th position. 29 seconds back from that previous fight. Old Crawler has held his medium tyres together well. A little bit more wear on Pajonski's, but I think he has been driving it a bit harder to get through the pack. Started from the back and was chopping his way through the field lap by lap, and here he is in third, yet to pit. None of the top three have pit yet, nor has DMK DK10. Rob Scott has, I think, but possibly only for repairs. Damage on for Ricky J as well. Again, so easy to pick up damage here. Old Crawler gets back through to top spot then over D.Dot. There is Pajonski just in the background of this fight as well. What is he? 1.7 seconds down. Again, he'll want these two to battle, but they are looking like they're giving it clean overtakes, so might not be as easy as Pajonski quite wants it. Yeah, that gap extending 1.92 seconds now. Possibly using a bit of slipstream on each other or bump drafting. Again, allowed in the race, but not during qualifying. Either of these drivers coming in the pits. Old Crawler stays out. D.Dot stays out. Pajonski stays out. He's using every inch of this circuit as Pajonski to try and close that gap up. DK10 stays out as well. Rob Scott into the hairpin. Stays out. Plenty of life left on his mediums. Plenty of fuel on board as well for Rob. Needs to be throwing some dairy milks out the window. 18 seconds down at the minute. It's only the big bars you've got to get rid of. You can keep the little ones, all right? Just get rid of those kilo bars, Rob. They're weighing you down, mate. Ricky J then, so got himself into 5th on the hard tyres. He's got DDR IT43 closing that gap in it up on him though. He's just got a fresh set of hards on. Let's see what he can do with those. One Eye Lou then. Decent amount of wear on those hards for him as well. DK10 been in the pits. Fresh set of mediums on board for him. Hattalad has been in. Oh, he's picked up more damage though at the front end. So freshest tyres, but oof, it's corners like that that are catching him out every time. Just into the wall there again. It's going to allow number 1 Pops to close up on him a little bit more. Holding fastest lap of the race actually. Number 1 Pops at 2:22.0. Let's keep our eye on this battle at the front and see what's happening. Where is Bajonski? Still 2 seconds back, keeping that gap as consistent as he possibly can. Who's going to brave it out of these 3? Who's going to make the lunge into the pits first? Old Crawler's medium still not looking too bad. D-Dot's hards as well. Okay. Bajonski just starting to feel the effects of some wear on his mediums. You can see the gap now to 2.7 seconds. Just not quite able to carry as much speed through some of these turns as those 2 drivers. And he does into the pits. He comes then. Bajonski. He's going to get rid of those worn mediums. He's got a set of hards or a set of softs to play with. It'd be interesting to see what he puts on. But then that releases these 2 to keep on battling between themselves. Rob Scott just goes past the pit entrance and exit. Bajonski released now. Where's he going to come out? So he still comes out in 4th. Rob Scott's got past him, but Rob has yet to pit. Sorry, he has pit, but for damage, I think mostly. Unless he did stick a fresh set of tyres on. I can't remember, it was 25 minutes ago. But Bajonski still in with a chance here. 29 seconds down from race leader. 9 seconds down from 3rd place Rob Scott. Fresh set of hards on. Let's just hope he doesn't throw it in the wall. He has got Forky Jonesy to get past. Hopefully that all happens nice and cleanly. Gives Bajonski a little bit of a tow up this long straight as well. Does Forky Jonesy see the blue flags? So back up to the race up front. Old Crawler and D-Dot still absolutely bumper to bumper. Say at the minute, driver of the day is a toss-up between Old Crawler and Bajonski. Just still 0.6 of a second in it between them. Who's going to make the lunge out of these 2? Rob Scott now 19 seconds back. Bajonski, so time coming down ever so slowly between himself and race leaders, taking a little bit of time out of Rob Scott as well. He has now got IT43 behind him though, 3.3 seconds. 3.2, also out on the hard tyres, so nothing in it tyre-wise. Bajonski is carrying a little bit more fuel, so it might be slightly heavier than IT43. All about what's going to happen here. D-Dot back into the lead then. Old Crawler still hanging on in there, keeping it out of that wall there. That's a particular one for some drivers. Still just 0.6 of a second in it between them. They are losing time. Rob Scott, even on worn mediums, has just taken a second out of them. So even though they're not battling, they are starting to lose time now to the drivers behind them. Coming up to the halfway point. Another 10th out then from Rob Scott. Podjonsky's also taken another second out of Rob Scott as well. Got the time between himself and race leaders down to about 28 seconds. And again, that time will be made up when they come in the pits. It is about a 28-29 second pit lane or pit stop. There is IT43, so lost a bit of time actually, 4.1 seconds down from Podjonsky now. That gap was 3.3. He's got Forky Jonesy, possibly struggled to get past Forky Jonesy maybe. Ricky J in 6th though, under a little bit of pressure from DMK, DK10 and One Eye Lou here. These three closed back up. A little bit of damage on for One Eye Lou. No damage on for DK10 and still a little bit of damage held for Ricky J as well. Hattelad 9th. Damage still. Number 1 Pops again damage and his medium screaming out at him to be changed. Aldo in 11th. Hard's not looking too bad. No damage on for Aldo. Hulky, no damage. Fresh set of hards on for him. Cutler has made up a position into 13th. 2.1 seconds over Shuri now. And Forky Jonesy still at the back of the pack. So it is Old Crawler that's dived in the pits first. That releases D-Dot to have a race all of his own on those worn hards. Rob Scott then 18.5 seconds down in 2nd. Podjonsky another 8.9 down in 3rd. IT43 in 4th. Lost another couple of tenths. Still under pressure from... he's back out the pits, Old Crawler. So only 0.6 of a second back. See on a set of hard tyres as well. DK10 now got Forky Jonesy to get through, but Forky Jonesy did look like he was trying to stay out of the way there a little bit. So DK10 looking for the move. Got Ricky J in the background as well, closing up on these two. Hattelad another 6 seconds down, unfortunately. Number 1 Pops another 10 seconds down. He's got Aldo for company though, just half a second back. Could be on for a position move here up this long straight. Aldo looking for the move then, up the inside. Gets it done before the first turn. Keeps it out of the wall on the exit as well, so pushes number 1 Pops down into 10th. Hulky in 11th, having a race of his own. One Eye Lou in 12th, so he's now been in the pits. Fresh set of racing mediums on board for One Eye. Keeps himself in front of Cutler, another 12.2 seconds back to Cutler in 13th. Shuri losing a bit more time to Cutler, 4.4 seconds down now. And Forky Jonesy struggling. 3 minutes down from race leader. I think it was 1 minute 30 down from Shuri. Oh. So D-Dot comes in the pits. Where is Rob Scott? Where is Podjonsky? D-Dot not even in his pit box yet. Rob Scott comes into the hairpin. Podjonsky heading down there as well. There he is. D-Dot into his pit box. Rob Scott comes through the pit exit then. Here comes Podjonsky for the same thing. Where will D-Dot be released? Comes out in 5th behind Old Crawler and IT43. So a bit of work to do. He's got DK10 for company as well behind him. So It was Rob Scott. Into the lead he goes, 8.7 seconds over Podjonski now. What can Podjonski do? Can he claim the win here after starting from the back? 28 minutes remaining. Old Crawler holding on to third position. Had a really good race so far, has Old Crawler. Under pressure from IT43 at the minute though. Both drivers on the hard tyres. Old Crawlers are a little bit fresher, so we'll see whether that benefits him. And there's D-Dot trying to catch up with the pack. 2.7 seconds down from IT43. 16 seconds down from Rob Scott. Bit of work to do then for D-Dot. What's happening back up the front? Rob Scott continues to lead. His medium tyres are screaming at him. He'll want shot of those anytime soon. Here is your second place man, Podjonski. Now 9.2 seconds down. Old Crawler another 3.8 seconds back. Still managing to keep it in front of IT43, who has picked up a penalty. That's going to benefit D.90, that is. What is he? 1.5 seconds down. Rob Scott continues to hold this lead though. 9.2 seconds himself over Podjonski. Oh, he's into the pits though. Podjonski won't have to bother with that. Through he goes then into race lead. That now gives him 3.4 seconds. Oh, IT43's back in the pits as well, so Old Crawler's safe. D-Dot gets himself back through into third position with that stop. DK10 back through to fourth as well. But damage and a little bit of wear showing on his tyres. Hattalad back into fifth, but damage and a lot of wear on those tyres. Rob Scott back out the pits into sixth then. Fresh softs just under 3/4 of a tank. 22 seconds down from Podjonski, race leader though. Number one Pop 7th, IT43 back out the pits on a fresh set of mediums. 1.9 seconds down from Pops. Ricky J, fresh set of softs on for him. 7.9 down from DDR IT43. There's One Eye Lou just chasing him down in the background. Decent set of mediums on for him. 1.9 seconds down himself. Cut it up into 11th. 9 seconds back. Aldo 2, nearly 3 seconds back in 12th. Shuri, another 7.5 seconds down in 13th. Hulky, unfortunately, 26 seconds down. And Forky Jonesy really struggling. Still a whole minute down from anybody else. Again, a couple of early trips to the pits for Forky Jonesy with damage. So Podjonski's gap has dwindled down to 2.6. It was 4 seconds something a second ago. So Old Crawler is absolutely stomping this little mini. D.90 is doing everything he can to close these gaps up as well. He is now only 3.6 seconds down from race leader. And only a second, 1.1 down from Old Crawler. So the medium's really working for D-Dot here. Bit of chase cam. Gap is down to a second. There is Podjonski just in front, about to slam the brakes on for the hairpin. Takes a quarter of a second out of Old Crawler through there. Takes the same amount of time out of Podjonski as well. Can he get the gap to Podjonski brought down before he blows this set of mediums? That's not the right line, D-Dot. Oh, stay out the walls, brother. Still keeping himself in check with Old Crawler though, even with the little rubs of the wall. Well within slipstream range, gonna look to make the move before turn 1. Swings himself over to the left. No, not quite enough. Doesn't get himself up the inside of Old Crawler enough to make it to warrant the pass. A little bit of nudge into the wall for Old Crawler slows him down though. It's allowing D-Dot to sneak through. And there is Pajonski in front, and now only 2 seconds. Pajonski on the hard tyre, D-Dot on the medium. Again, can D-Dot keep his mediums in good enough condition? Ooh, not like that. To close the gap up and make a move on Pajonski before he blows these tyres out. Both drivers will have softs on for the final stint. How much they're having to feather the throttle through some of these turns to keep it out of the concrete. Inch perfect there for D-Dot. Gap down to 1.2 seconds between himself and race leader Pajonski. Heading back down towards this hairpin. Oh, we're going to see D-Dot go for a lunge. I don't think he's quite close enough yet. Will take an awful lot of time out of Pajonski here though. Quarter of a second through the hairpin alone. Now within the slipstream range. Into the S's. Tricky for Pajonski on the hard tyres, but it'll put the extra wear onto D-Dots. Oh, and lines like that won't help him, although he is keeping himself in touch with Pajonski. So just 0.3 of a second in it. Pajonski peels himself over to the left hand side. Now the right hand side, trying to drop the toe for D-Dot. Back over to the racing line. Not this time then for D-Dot. Don't forget we've still got Old Crawler looking to come back at these two as well, so he's kept himself in the mix. Pajonski drops himself over, but D-Dot carrying all that extra speed. He now sneaks through into first place then. Pajonski having to drop and hold into second. Old Crawler still closing up on these two. Pajonski thinking about thought about throwing one up the inside there. Kind of made D-Dot compromise his line on the way in. But he's able to keep the power down on those mediums. You can see he's just pulling a little bit of a gap over Pajonski. But piling the wear on these mediums as well. Can he use them to his advantage now he's up front? Or will Pajonski... Oh, he's trying to drive it as hard as D-Dot, but he won't be able to on the hards. Now out of the slipstream range, and now he's got to worry about Old Crawler, who's now looking to take this position off him. Both drivers on the hard tyre, but Old Crawler's looking a lot fresher. Almost side by side through there between Pajonski and Old Crawler. Down towards this hairpin again then. D-Dot managed to make a break. Again, has he blown those tyres out too early? Pajonski goes. Where's Pajonski gone? Into the pits. So he's looking to come out on a fresh set of soft tyres for this final stint and go for a full 18-minute spankathon. So D-Dot then with a 2-second lead. So mediums on for Old Crawler, for D-Dots. That's just allowing him to keep pulling a couple of tenths off of Old Crawler, holding him in second position for now. Rob Scott still third, 15.7 seconds down. Hatterlad fourth. Big wear. He'll be looking to come into the pits, get that repaired, and a fresh set of boots on for this final stint. Podjonsky then on the softs, just under half a tank. Is that going to be enough to get him through to the end? Let's hope so. 29 seconds. Again, that's about a pit stop. We've seen that before. D-Dot's got to do everything he can on these mediums now. What was the gap between himself and Podjonsky? 28.9 seconds. So if Podjonsky's got just enough fuel in to finish the race, that would tell me that D-Dot has got too much on. Although he will have a fresher set of softs on at the end, he will be carrying more weight than Podjonsky. Old Crawler's yet to take his final stop as well, as has Rob Scott. Podjonsky already passed Hatter Lad. Easily done by the looks of it. Yeah, looks like Hatter Lad's really struggling on those tyres. So another half a second out of D-Dot's time, 28.5 seconds. Rob Scott just in no man's land at the minute, sitting in third. 14.5 seconds down from Old Crawler, 11.2 back from Podjonsky. Podjonsky has taken his final pit. Let's see where it puts him. Hatter Lad then. Will Hatter Lad come in the pits this lap? He ought to. No, he's not having it. IT43 then, still doing alright. 6th place at the minute. Fresh-ish set of mediums on board. Ricky J just coming through the hairpin there as well. Again doing alright, holding 7th. We'll see how these positions end up after the final bout of stops. So DK10 on a fresh set of softs as well. One Eye Lou just firing himself past the camera there. He's into the pits as well. Cutler on the softs for the final stint also. Number 1 Pops. He's hard looking all right. Not sure if he's taking his final stint. Hulky giving Shuri some pressure. A little bit of sideways contact between those two. Shuri on a fresh set of mediums. Hulky on a worn set of softs. Still piling the pressure on Shuri though, down towards the hairpin. Is he going to come back at him? Got his nose up the inside again. Shuri getting the switch back on him on the exit. Oh, just about. Still Hulky in front, but Shuri and Hulky absolutely neck and neck up here. Into the S's. Shuri just with the advantage on the inside through that first little sweeping right-hander. Holds himself that 13th position then. So D-Dot now with a 3-second lead over Old Crawler. When is he going to come in the pits? Again, not this lap. Old Crawler stays out on his hard tyres. Rob Scott now 13 seconds down. Podjonsky has not managed to take any more time out of D-Dot's time, so still at 28.5 seconds. It's going to be really interesting for this final stint when these boys come in. Lad still with that damage. Now got IT43 bearing down on him. He's into the pits this lap though, so that does release IT43 into 5th. It's going to allow Ricky J through. No, it's not, because Ricky J's in the pits as well. DK10 then, he can come through. Fresh set of softs on. Maybe a little bit too much fuel as well for DK10. the end there for Hattelad. Getting that damage repaired on the front end. Yes, fresh set of softs on board for him though. Comes out in 9th position. Ricky J out before him due to no repairs to be done. But fresh set of softs on. Last 13 minutes for Hattelad. Let's go and see what's happening at the front. D-Dot then. Starting to feel the effects of the wear on those mediums. 2.7 seconds. Old Crawler has brought that time down a little bit. Scott as well, bringing the time down slightly between himself and Old Crawler. Pajonski almost a second out of D-Dot's time. Again, top 3 yet to take their final stop. Maybe Rob Scott. No, I think he may yet still have to take a stop. Will D-Dot risk it this lap? Old Crawler still out on those hards as well. D-Dot stays out. Old Crawler comes in this lap. That should release Rob Scott and possibly Pajonski. Rob Scott goes through then. Where's Pajonski? Just come down to the hairpin. I think IT43 is a little too far back to make any gains from this one. Although might bring him up to the rear bumper of Old Crawler when he comes out. There goes Pajonski through into 3rd position then. Old Crawler back out the pits in 4th. Only 2.7 seconds down from Pajonski. That gap will grow though. So no position changes then for IT43, but he will close the gap up on Old Crawler a little bit. So it's all about when D-Dot and Rob Scott will pit. D-Dot now with a 15-second lead over Rob Scott. Pajonski got that gap down to 27.5 seconds between himself and D-Dot. 11 minutes remaining. Old Crawler now 4 seconds down. Again, just leaving the pits. You're not up to quite the same pace as the drivers coming around the hairpin, unfortunately. So you do lose a bit of time, a little bit of speed. Hence why IT43 has managed to get that gap down from 10 seconds to 8.5. DK10, race of his own now pretty much till the flag, I think. He's got 14 seconds either side of him, front and back. Hattelad 13 seconds down from DK10, but he has got Ricky J only 1.4 seconds back. So again, already made the move on Ricky J. Did come out of the pits behind him, but the softs versus the mediums playing into Hattelad's hands there, making that position. Cutler then 9th. Softs looking pretty good, should last him to the end. One Eye Lou in 10th. His soft's got a little bit of wear on, but again should last to the end. Aldo, fresh set of softs on, 5.5 seconds down with 10 minutes remaining. There is One Eye Lou just disappearing over the brow of the hill. Can he make those work for him? In the meantime, race leader is in the pits. Rob Scott comes through. Where is Pajonski? Down to the hairpin he comes. He'll have seen the P marker up against D-Dot's name and have pushed as hard as he can. So, sneaky. I thought Pajonski was going to get through, but he has, using the little bit of extra speed coming out of that hairpin, but now on a semi-worn set of soft tyres versus D-Dot on a brand new fresh set. And have you underfueled here, Pajonski, is the next question. 9 minutes remaining, less than quarter of a tank, and you are going to have to stamp that throttle to stay in front of D-Dot here. And if Rob Scott has done all 3 pit stops, he's got a convincing lead, 12.5 seconds. Worn softs versus the 2 drivers behind on the better conditions softs, but with only 8.5 minutes to go, with 12.5 seconds gap, if Rob Scott can play his cards right and not stick it in the wall, he could be on for a win here tonight. Pajonsky and D-Dot still battling out for second and third. Looks like D-Dot's going to get it on the run up to the hairpin. Holds the inside line tight through there. Be careful, you might pick up a penalty cutting those corners quite so tight, D-Dot. All four wheels over the white line can mean you pick up a penalty. You've got to be careful, you don't want to be throwing your race away through a little mistake like that. Oh, a little drag into the wall there for Pajonsky. A little mistake there from D-Dot as well, so neither driver able to make a break. Just a quarter of a second in it. Heading back down towards this hairpin. Are we going to see Pajonsky now go for a move up the inside of the hairpin on D-Dot? D-Dot already swings himself over to the inside, covering off that attack. Hard on the brakes for both drivers. Can Pajonsky get one up the inside? D-Dot almost running wide through there. Back exactly where they were. All this time, Rob Scott is just tootling around. 12 seconds up the road. 7 minutes left, sorry. Oh, One Eye Lou has left the room. Why has One Eye Lou left the room? I lost another half a second then, Rob Scott. That time is starting to dwindle. 6.5 minutes remaining. What do we think? Is he going to hold on to it? So the gap between D-Dot and Pajonsky growing as well. Those fresher tyres working in D-Dot's favour. Now 1.5 seconds, but a long way back from Rob Scott, although he is bringing that time down pretty rapidly. Was what, 12 seconds? It is now 10.7. 6 minutes on the clock. So it looks to be the battle of D-Dot versus Rob Scott then for the win. Can't take anything away from Pajonsky though. Started from the back of the pack. He is currently sitting third. He's got an old crawler behind him, also on a fresh set of softs. That could come into play right on the last couple of laps. Or the last minute or so really. Depending how close, he's 4.3 seconds down. Rob Scott then that time coming down again, 9.8 seconds between himself and D-Dot. Now 5 minutes on the clock. Worn softs versus fresh set of softs. Got to keep an eye on Pajonsky as well. His fuel gauge is flashing at him. Has he got his strategy just right, or is he going to have to come in for a splash and dash? He stays out this lap. Gap still at 9.3 seconds between Rob Scott and D-Dot. That gap will come down now though as Rob Scott heads into these S's. To go a little bit slower, won't be able to carry quite as much speed as D-Dot through here. Here is D-Dot already coming through. There you go, from 9.1 down to 8.9 just in the S's. Keeps it out of the wall on the exit as well. 4 minutes remaining, 8.5 second gap. I need more juice. Let's have a flick through while we're on these last couple of laps, just see where everyone else is. So it's Rob Scott leading. D-Dot second, 8 seconds down. Pajonsky put up a good fight, but he's now holding on for third, 5 seconds down. It's got Old Crawler closing that gap up on a fresh set of tyres for 4th. IT43 14 seconds down for 5th. Had a good race, IT43. DK10 in 6th. 10 seconds down. Hattalad 7th, another 9 seconds down. Ricky J 7, nearly 8 seconds down in 8th. Cutler another 7 seconds down in 9th. Aldo 6.5 seconds down in 10th. 26 seconds back for number 1 Pops. 2.4 back for MRC Shuri. Another 48 seconds back for Hulky and a 58 seconds down for Jonesy. So back up front, less than 3 minutes on the clock. The gap is sitting at 7.5 seconds. D-Dot is doing everything. He's managed to get himself past Hulky cleanly. Two and a half minutes left on the clock. That is going to mean when they cross the line, one more lap. D-Dot, unless Rob Scott has some terrible accident, it looks like he's on for the win here. D-Dot's not going to be able to close down 7.3 seconds in one lap. He'll take some of it, but he won't take all of it. Gap down to 7, 2 minutes on the clock. Rob Scott just coming up to the line then to start his final lap. D-Dot now 6.9 seconds down. Rob Scott will be seeing that time drop, but I think he will also know he's got just this final lap to do. Pajonski still holding 3rd. Old Crawler not managed to make it past him yet. He's got 1.3 seconds to try and make up on the driver in front. One lap to do it. Again, worn softs versus pretty fresh softs for Old Crawler. Back up front, gap at 6.5 seconds. Taking his time through there, Rob Scott. Doesn't want to spin himself out. Will allow D-Dot to close up enough. He's just got to keep himself calm and collected through here. Here comes D-Dot. There is Rob Scott just heading right. Gap at 6 seconds. So, little drag of the wall there for D-Dot on the exit of that turn. That might just play into Rob Scott's hands here. He's got a big long straight with a couple of little sweeping left rights down towards this hairpin again. The S is on the way back up the hill after the hairpin. Still with 6.5 seconds gap between himself and D-Dot. It's looking good here for Rob Scott. Jonski, will he run out of fuel? Might have just got enough on board. Just the S's to go then for Rob Scott. 6.4 second gap still. D-Dot Soft's looking a little bit beaten up now, so he'll be struggling. To the final left-hander then for Rob Scott. He's managed to keep that gap right at the end there, 6.2 seconds. It's a great effort by D-Dot, but just not enough here then. So Rob Scott coming up to the line to take the win here at round 2 of the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. D-Dot taking a second. Rob Scott taking that one off you though. Ooh, is Pajonski going to hold 3rd? Old Crawler up the inside, up the outside. Ooh, he does just take it. He does just take it, Pajonski. Old Crawler into 4th position. IT43 is going to take 5th. Just wait for these drivers to cross the line. Here he comes then. 5th position for IT43. DK10 is going to come home for 10th. Apologies, 6th. He's got 10 in his name, so I'll see that and call it out. 6 then for DK10. Hatterlad, after 2 wins last week, now in 7th position in the Enduros. A couple of trips to the pits, a lot of damage on board for him. Ricky J is going to come home for 8th. He'll be happy with that result. Cutler will take 9th position. He will not be happy with that result. DMK Aldo, he comes in 10th, just behind a 15th place Forky Jonesy. Shuri coming up for 11th, unless number 1 Pops decides to take that position off him. Tyres absolutely brutalised. Both, sorry, I was going to say both drivers damaged, but they're not. Oh, into the wall there for Pops. Still putting the pressure on Shuri though to take the position. Ooh, is he carrying more speed? Shuri looks like he's got it. He does take the 11th then. Pops takes the 12th. Hulky takes 13th. Forky Jonesy 15th. And unfortunately, One Eye Lou left the room 3/4 of the way through the race. Whew, whoa. Got to go and get changed now, people, because I'm absolutely dripping. Like I say, like I said at the start of the stream, I feel for you boys sitting in your rigs. At least I'm able to sort of move about and not lean and stuff, whereas you boys have got to be fully concentrated for that full hour. So yes, I feel for you. I've been there. I know what it's like. Pajansky just giving old Crawler some credit. Yeah, I bet you were flapping at the end there. So yeah, some good racing. Some good racing. There's a lot of damage here at Tokyo, unfortunately, but it's just part of the racing, really, at such a tight track. No runoff. DK10, no problem at all. But yeah, some really good racing there. So we'll see where that puts the results next week. Obviously, Hatterlad currently leading with 55 points, but coming in 7th, I think, or 8th. 7th, I believe. Won't do his championship any good. But we'll see what it does for everyone else. It'll do D-Dot the world of good. He'll be right back up there in top spots, I believe. So, yeah, that's about it. I hope you've liked it. Again, come and check us out same time, same place next week. If you want to help my channel out, there's a couple of ways you can do it. No problem, Cutler. You can get yourself over to buymeacoffee.com/darksmoker, but I'd rather you didn't do that. I'd rather you got hold of me at darksmoker@googlemail.com. And for the same money as a buy me a coffee thing, I can send you some stickers if you send me a PayPal-y thing. But yeah, hit me up at darksmoker@googlemail.com if you want any of that, and I'll get back to you and ask you sizes and styles and things, and then yeah, hit me up and I'll send it out. Other than that, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.